Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's a pleasure to serve under your chairmanship. And can I start by congratulating the honourable gentleman from Stamford and Grantham, or rather the other way around, for securing this debate. He and I have been discussing this issue for quite some time, and he has led admirably in assessing the requirements that are needed to be able to address this issue using his own background and experience from the private sector in this place, and what a speech that was. I'd also like to start off, Mr. Chairman, by thanking Human Trafficking Foundation, which I believe my right honourable colleague to my right also has a relationship with, but their work has been absolutely extraordinary in highlighting and identifying the issue around modern slavery and indeed human trafficking. And indeed my predecessor, Anthony Steen, has a large role to play in this and continues to perform those duties in a very, very meaningful and effective manner. Now, I'm conscious that there is a limited amount of time and I don't want to interrupt the words that are going to follow me and the Minister's response, but I just want to touch on a few points that we understand from what was passed in 2015 under the Modern Slavery Act. It was a landmark piece of legislation, and all too often in this place we talk about every piece of legislation being a landmark piece of legislation. This really was. It really was unique in the world, and it has been followed, as already has been said, by Australia, France, and the Netherlands. And in that act, we committed to bringing perpetrators to justice, ensuring that businesses were brought in line with transparency reports, enhanced protection for victims, ensuring that there were supply chain statements, and of course the Independent Anti-Slavery Commissioner. These are all very integral and important points to have included, but we also have to assess their effectiveness in delivering and making sure that businesses are following suit, not just going through the rigmarole of ticking off boxes to say that they have complied with the statements. It has to have teeth. And this is where the opportunity comes, because the UK has global leadership and we have global power in being able to set up initiatives like this. I may, if I can go briefly off topic, Mr. Chairman, talk about the illegal wildlife trade. In 2013, 2014, the UK launched a transportation task force in which we brought private, public and charitable organisations together to disrupt the illegal wildlife trade network. We then have begun to bring in financial networks to be able to look at data analysis and be able to see where we can disrupt those chains across the world. This is what we should be doing in this area. There's huge potential for doing it, and there are models of which there are similar that we can replicate in this country. The last point that I just want to make before I hand over is what was raised in the Independent Slavery Commissioner's report at the end of this year. And there were two specific points that we need to look at. First is around data analysis, that there is a huge benefit to being able to bring in financial institutions, to be able to pinpoint and identify beyond the supply chains and businesses' internal structures, to look at where money is being transferred, to look at where money is being invested, and to take that to account, and to make sure that we can therefore be reassured in where our investments are being put. The second is the point that slavery is generating somewhere in the region of about $150 billion a year. And the report goes on to encourage the exploration of the opportunities to partner with financial institutions. We set up the Slavery Commissioner, the Anti-Slavery Commissioner, to make sure that we would listen to those recommendations. These recommendations have come out in the report. We would do very well to listen to them. All I'll say, and as the Right Honourable Gentleman for Grantham and Stamford has said, it is the situation that you walk past that you cannot ignore. And we cannot, in this day and age, look at the crisis, the egregious crime that is human trafficking, and accept that it is acceptable in the 21st century. We have the opportunity to bring those financial institutions together with the City of London, with the power that we have as one of the fifth biggest economy in the world. It's time for us to take the action, to take the lead that my friend and colleague, the gentleman from Grantham and Stamford, has said, and to make sure that we can provide that leadership. So I hope the Minister will listen to those words and show the appropriate action. Thank you.